Welcome to the Fire Away Podcast. Podcast that is the Fire Away Podcast. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's do it.
Hey, let's do it. Welcome back to another episode of the Fire Away Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Meyer, here with Fred Anders. What's going on, Fred?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Check us out on Instagram, Fire_Away Podcast on Instagram. Catch up on episodes anywhere you get your podcast. And today we have a special guest all the way from Encore, Miss Alyssa. How are you doing today, Miss Alyssa?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. And your last name is Carvara?
You got it.
Make
All
sure
right.
you roll the R.
Carvara.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. So we were just chatting before we went live, and I told you what to expect today, and we just wing it. We like to act like we're an organized podcast over here. We fake it till we make it, but I think that the ones where we just talk and have a conversation go better than the ones that we script out with a question and answer. So we prefer to do it that style. So it's going to be a getting to know Alyssa. We want to know a little bit about you, what you like to do, and we do appreciate you jumping on. I know you said you had some other people that would be a guest, but today's going to be all about you.
Yeah. So
Wow.
a little background real quick. So I met Alyssa last week. Wasn't it last week?
Yeah,
Right.
last week.
And you were down here doing, what were you doing? What was the
I was filming for our quarterly that was coming up. We do a video for each of our quarterlies, so I was at Fireline getting some footage.
so she was down here with two guys from the service department, Daryl and Sayer. So she put a video together. Somehow I got roped into being a part of that at the very end.
Somehow.
Yeah, well, no, it was. So other people backed out, and they say, "Go see Fred," and they know I can't turn down an opportunity to put my face out somewhere and talk to somebody. But got to talking to Alyssa and kind of explain a little bit about what she does. But I can't wait to kind of hear her dive into a little bit more. It sounds like a pretty cool job to have to run around doing what she's doing, right? But very charismatic, very easy, very fun to talk to. Has listened to a couple episodes. I'd love to hear what they were and her take on all that. And asked her to be a part of it. She jumped right on it, right on the opportunity. Said no problem, I'm all in. Let's rock and roll with it. So here we have it. So Alyssa, again, welcome to the podcast. We appreciate your time, and let's get started here. So tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, what is your actual title there now at Encore?
So my actual title is Creative Content Producer. And just immediately off of what you just said about how I jumped in on this, it's because I understand the struggle of trying to get people to either get in front of a camera or a microphone. Like, it's hard. So I was eager to help out because I get how difficult that can be.
No, we appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, you get it. We struggle, and we also understand how difficult your job is. Trying to put things together, and not always the longest time frame. Poor Kelly here. We always talk about it. We dump everything right on his lap.
Yeah, when Mark asked me, like, what does Alyssa do for Encore? The mouthful you just gave is not what I said. I'm like, it's just some cool stuff. It sounds like.
Yeah.
It's basically all I could say.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a lot. So what you saw me doing was our video for our quarterlies, and that definitely is a big part of what I do. So, our quarterly events 4 times a year when we have everyone get together, we try to produce and show a video, and it always has a different message, and we try to feature different people. But it's a pretty powerful cultural tool, I would say, to really just connect people on a message, on a goal, and also just, have a little fun getting people out of their comfort zone, doing some fun or sometimes silly things on camera. But yeah, that's like a big part of what I do is helping make those videos.
Yeah, so and we try to do the same thing here with the podcast. That's why it was created, right? It's just about we want to get people on here, we want to get engaged with our employees and have some fun. We're really lucky to be able to do this for an hour out of our day, sometimes a couple hours, getting a couple episodes in. But I'm sure you've seen it too. Like we were saying before you got on, the people that you think are going to be like so comfortable behind a microphone or behind a camera, they freeze up once you put them in that spotlight, and you're like, oh, this is not what I expected. And then you got to pivot and try to, Fred and I don't usually have a problem filling dead air, but
No, we have
it's always shocking when you're always like, hey, every time we talk, we have a great conversation, but then I wanted to interview him in front of this camera, and then it went, everything went south.
So how did you get your role? I mean, how'd that come about? Coming to Encore and doing that. And how long you been there?
So my year anniversary is coming up in a week, I think.
1 year?
So that's exciting. Yep,
Okay.
1 year.
Congratulations.
Um, gosh, I came to Encore in a very funny way in that so I was living in Brooklyn, New York, and I was in advertising, creative, soul-crushing advertising, selling things to people that they don't need. And I wanted to get out of the city. I wanted to get out of advertising. And my mom, who lives near Rhode Island, sent me this really random job posting. And I think the intro line was like, "Are you a multidisciplinary creative who wants to do all things but can't find a role that will let you do it? You should work for this fire protection company." And my first reaction was, fire protection? What? And I read the job description and I really connected with it. And then once I met the people on the TCP team, specifically Jill, I was like, this sounds really strange and unique and cool. And the idea of being able to do creative things, not to sell products, but to help connect this culture that seemed really strong and really old and just like really uplifting. It felt very inspiring to me. And so I said, why not? I'll give it a try. And a year later, here I am, going strong.
That's great. It's kind of, you use those, like, this new thing, right, of this social media and this marketing and these videos and podcasts to bring such an old niche thing like fire protection into the forefront for people. It's kind of cool. Did you have a background in videography and editing and things like that?
Sort of. I did a lot of like prop styling, set design, more like commercial type productions. So that's kind of where I got that experience. I was never actually behind like the camera itself, but now at Encore, I walk around with the camera. And so everyone's like, she's the camera girl. She knows how to use that camera. And I'm like, I'm learning.
So to go back to the culture you talked about, right, and the whole cultural concept
Yeah.
of what's going on here, and was in that job posting, and which was intriguing to you coming in, right? So being here a year now, and that's primarily what you're doing, right? You're trying to create that culture, build that culture, push that culture, and to show people that it really does exist. So us being a new company into Fireline, into Encore, I mean, we're 6 months into it now, but we're still integrating all through here, right? And we have people out, listeners, who are curious to know the culture that they push, and the culture that they show. Is it real? Is it really, truly 6 months down the road, a year down the road, 2 years down the road? Is it actually real? And I think some of the listeners would love to hear someone actually who's been doing it now, who is really into that part of it, to explain that it is or isn't.
Yeah, I can definitely say it's real. It's it's crazy to have, a whole team dedicated to the culture. And something I thought when I first started, and I met a bunch of people in New Jersey. Um, I met people in Rhode Island, techs, office staff, and I almost kept waiting for the other shoe to drop because I'm like, every person I meet like seems so on board and in line with this culture. Like they're genuine people, they really care about what they do, helping customers, helping each other. And it's just the more people I met, I kept waiting to like meet that one person where I'm like, all right, the shoe is dropped. This isn't real. And it just never came. And yeah, it's very strange. And so even getting down to Fireline, that was probably the furthest I had traveled. So I'm like, all right, maybe now it'll happen, not upper New England area. We're going down south. Maybe it's different. And yet again, everyone I met there was just so genuine, like so happy to be doing the work that they're doing and, building the relationships, not only with the people that they've been with for so long, but all these people they're meeting from Encore, like I kept waiting for that shoe to drop and it hasn't dropped yet. So
And that's
to
a
answer
great
your question,
testament.
yes,
That's
it's
a great
real.
testament to Fireline and to Encore, right? And Encore being one that are trying to find, companies that fit the culture that they really truly put out. So it's very refreshing to hear that you came down to Fireline, which is the newer onboarded customer from Encore, who I like to think, and Mark will agree, we think we have a pretty darn good culture here too, right? We push that same agenda, walking the walk, talking the talk. I've heard some of that going around here. But from what I've seen, it's funny that you say you keep waiting for that one person. And I'm kind of in a similar boat right now, right? I keep waiting for that one person where I go, oh, okay. It's not everybody on the same wavelength, right? But I haven't met that yet person either, right? And everybody I've dealt with through Encore has been phenomenal, great at their job, well-versed in their job, and 100% on board with the direction that we're trying to move. So it's refreshing that you came in and saw the same thing from Fireline, and that we're going to jump right on board and keep moving forward.
Kind of crazy. Like it's a crazy thing to like hear said out loud. But I'm super grateful to be part of, a company that does have that.
Yes, I think you get a lot of it's nervousness here, right? We were
Sure.
a very close family of employees here, right? It was family. Now it's like mom's got a new boyfriend.
Yep, got a new
We're
stepdaddy.
we're still getting to know him. We don't know how we feel about it. And look, we're all just being honest, saying that there's still not people that are unsure, because there are, and that's what you said, right? That's why we want to know. But it is that feeling. It's that feeling of, okay, when's the other shoe going to drop, right? When's this hammer
Yeah.
going to come down and go, the wizard's behind the curtain, and this is what's going on. But it's good to hear,
Yeah,
like you said,
no, for
another
sure.
voice on it. So
Yeah.
are you a one woman team there? Do you have a creative team that helps you put these videos together, or are you doing this all yourself?
So I do have people helping me out to break down the PCP team, talent, culture, people. I'm more of the culture part of that. And so Courtney, she's been like my mentor for the past year since I started, and she's taught me a lot about the culture, more so than I could learn just from experience, because she'd been here, I might get it wrong, but I think like 3 going on 4 years. And before me, she was like the one person team. And then so I came on and started helping her out, bringing in some of my experience, expanding our capabilities. And just a couple months ago, we got another person, Sarah, and she's helping us out with social media and like LinkedIn, Instagram, internal communication. So I am not a one person team. It is grown and continues to grow. Uh, we all have our own kind of specialties, but we also help each other out with literally everything.
That's awesome. Yeah, because and again, we know just from our experience, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up on. We've been trying to put out an episode every 2 weeks for 2 years, and the production side of it, Kelly with the editing and production side of it, the uploading, the social media, all that stuff. Sometimes it gets lost in the sauce, right? If it's not your full, and for us,
Absolutely.
it's not our full time job, right? We have other positions here. We just kind of were doing this for part of
Yeah.
our customer service committee is what it started, and then it kind of morphed into just something that we do. And there are times where we look at each other like, man, is this sustainable? And I do believe that we all want it to be, because we really enjoy it, but it can get difficult at times because we're wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah, that's why it's important to start getting the word out across Encore, and hopefully getting, when you, with the help from people like you who are coming on from Encore. Well, we are all Encore, but expanding that footprint and getting more people to be involved, and as far as more listeners go, and hearing about, because again, it is an employee spotlight start off here at Fireline. Let's meet some of our cool employees that we have and some of the cool things they do outside of work, and let's get to know everybody. And I mean, now we've got 2,300 people or something like that we can reach out to.
Yeah.
And let's start hearing about this culture and what people are doing, and what makes them great, what they're doing great. So if we can spread that word, that'd be incredible.
Yeah, I wanted a
Yeah,
full-time
absolutely.
podcast host is a
Correct.
new position. I'll take that.
Right. We need
What
a
do you guys
studio.
do?
That's
We just
your
podcast
goal.
every day. Yeah.
So what are some so being around in a year now, and you've gotten around to some different sites, right? Doing your quarterly, doing your videos. Any cool
Yep.
stories you want to share about some of the people that you've met along the way?
Oh my gosh. Putting me on the spot.
A little bit.
Well, we did just hear about your terrible flight back
Yes.
from Fireline.
Yeah.
I'm not a flyer.
Yeah.
I hate flying myself. Any little bit of turbulence, I'm like, all right, we're going down.
Right. Well,
It's
this
over.
is a story. This is a story from Fireline about that, and that so a handful or a good amount of people from Encore headquarters in Pawtucket have gone to Fireline now. I think for like the quarterly and other reasons, and they're telling me it's so easy. You like leave in the morning for work, get on the plane, and then you're back home like a normal work day. And so I was like, all right, sounds great. Let's do it. And then as the nor'easter started pushing in and my flight kept getting delayed, I went to go get some food, and the waitress, she kind of went on a 5-minute tangent with me saying how this always happens whenever it's hot in Maryland. There's all these storms and the flights are always delayed. And so we have to stay there and she has to stay there. And she was basically complaining to me that because our flights kept getting delayed, like she couldn't go home. And then I felt extra bad, like it was somehow my fault that the plane was being delayed and she couldn't go home. But that's how I learned that apparently that's a normal thing for you guys. Like if it's warm, you have these
Oh,
storms and your
summertime
flights are delayed.
thunderstorms. Yeah, I mean they are wreaking havoc. I would say in the last month we might have had 3 days without
It's
thunderstorms.
been crazy.
It's
Yeah.
been and they're
Wait,
severe
3 days without?
without thunderstorms.
Something
it's-
rolling through somewhere in the area, correct?
Yeah, and then you're right,
Oh
it's
gosh.
inevitably canceling because it seems like it's always in the worst parts, always like rush hour afternoon. So of course, yeah, flights will
Yeah.
be getting canceled. Because I mean, if you're thinking of Fireline itself, the airport is 5 miles away
Right,
from
from
here,
us.
if
It's
that.
close.
So yeah, it's. Yeah,
So what you're
we've been
saying is
getting
I should
hammered.
start driving.
Yeah,
I should start
it's
driving to
easier to
Fireline.
drive.
So what's the temperature up Rhode Island right now? What's the normal temperature for the time of year?
It's hot, it's humid, like
Okay.
80s. I try to stay in air conditioning, but like I can't really complain to you guys because it's much hotter there.
Yeah, a little bit, a little warm.
Yeah, I hate it. As if you've listened before, you know I'm not the fan of the heat. I'm not built for the heat. I'm traveling up to Maine in August, and I'm looking forward to a break. Hopefully,
Ooh, where in
cooler
Maine?
weather. Bar Harbor. We're camping there for a week on the water. So I'm gonna do some
Nice.
sightseeing around Acadia and some other places, Cadillac Mountain and things like that. So it'll be my first time. I've
I'm
never been.
I'm technically from Maine. I was supposed to be born there, and I have a lot of family there, and I lived there until I was one. Um, that's my connection to Maine.
Okay.
Have you been back since, or have you visited or anything? Any recommendations?
I visit all the time for family. I usually go to like the Old Orchard Beach area. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's pretty well known. It's got like a pier and all this good food and like a
Old Orchard Beach. I'll make a note of that.
carnival rides. But I was actually there 2 days ago. I was there 2 days ago because similarly, how I was filming with you guys for the quarterly video, I also drove to our main office and did some filming there.
Oh, okay. Where
Yeah,
is the main office located at for Encore? Do you know what part of
that's
Maine
in
that is?
Lewiston.
Lewiston.
Yeah, I
Okay.
went to Lewiston, Maine, which I had never been to before.
I'll have to check that. I'll make a note if I
The
really
main headquarters is in Maine?
yeah, I got what you're doing there, Fred.
No,
No,
I
but
thought. Well, I mean, I don't know where marking. I want to
Bell,
mark them
Maine.
up there. I always thought it was Rhode Island. I thought the
No,
headquarters.
no. The headquarters. No, not Maine is in like Main. Maine is in Maine.
So the main locations is in Maine, yeah.
That's what
But
I'm
not
saying.
not the not the MAIN location.
Correct.
All right, the main location with an E.
That's
Is
why they
in
have
Maine.
us podcasting. We're not the
All
smartest
right.
people.
Hey,
in the
I
world.
mean, all these moving parts, I'm kind of fried at the moment. So yeah, I apologize for that. Thanks for clarifying, Alyssa. I appreciate you.
So all right, so we know what you're doing now. So what are we doing in our free time here? You can't walk around. Did you enjoy do you have photography as a hobby? Is that kind of what got you into it? Because I know the reason I asked, I have a brother-in-law, and you never see him without a camera in his hand. You know, he even takes it
Got
to
it.
work with him. You know what I mean? It's not what he does, but you find that
He
people
loves
that
it.
have that passion, right? That's what they do. It's their tool. They have it with them
Yeah.
all the time.
Um, I like painting. I went to school for illustration, which is a pretty niche major, but I really enjoy painting. So I try to paint when I have time.
All right, Kelly perked up a little bit. Our editor, producer, sound guy. He has a background in some of that, some illustration and graphic design
Oh,
and things
wow.
like that. And now he's doing editing and producing for our podcast
That's right.
Fireline. So you
Yep.
never know where the road's going to lead you.
So what do you paint? Like, is it people, places, things, mountains, a little bit of everything? Is it watercolors? Is it like what kind of painting do you do?
Oh, we're getting into the details of painting.
Why not?
I love oil paint. Oil paint is my favorite. I enjoy portraits, so I like painting people. But I feel like in the past couple of years, I've found that I enjoy more making paintings for friends or family. So it's less about like, I'm so inspired, I want to paint this thing. It's more so like I hear one of my friends say, like, I'd love a picture of like a breakfast plate so I could hang it in my kitchen because like I love breakfast. And so I just want like a painting of like eggs and stuff. And then so I go and like make that painting and then surprise them with the painting. That's kind of been like my jam lately with painting. I just eavesdrop when family members and friends say they want something, and then I go make it for them.
Ah, very cool. That's pretty neat.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need
Oh,
a.
God.
We're gonna need a fire away portrait picture painting going up here.
All right, guys. Well, this has been really fun. I actually have to.
She said friends and family. We're not.
We got to work.
We're
on
co-workers now. Co-workers. So you've been there. Go ahead.
I want to ask you guys a question.
that. Sure.
Because this is something, as I've traveled throughout all our locations and met a lot of people, I've been kind of keeping this mental tally, and I want to ask you guys.
Go ahead. Shoot. Fire away, if you will.
Right. Are you cat people or dog people?
Oh, so I am a dog person with 2 cats and no dogs.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a dog person more so than a cat person. But we do have 2 dogs and a cat, and to be quite honest, the cat is pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, if I had to get rid of one though, it would be the cat. But then again, I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That
I'm
cat's
at
actually
an
pretty cool.
age now where I don't want to take care of any of them. My cats are older, so they're becoming more of a headache, and I think that's why. I have a 6-year-old daughter who is no help at all. And a dog is just too. As much as I like a dog, and I've had dogs growing up, I also had parents to take care of dogs growing up, and now it would be my responsibility. And I don't want to deal with that either.
How about you?
I like dogs.
Oh, I'm total crazy cat lady, like full stop. Like absolutely nuts.
So what are their names and how many do we have?
I currently have 2. Their names are Sweet Pea and Elsie. But I've like worked with cat rescue organizations. I'm TNR certified. Like I built like winter cat shelters, the whole thing. But I found that most people in fire protection are in fact dog people. So when I find that rare cat person, I'm like, let's go.
I like that. That's the question she takes around with her, like cats or
So
dogs.
Anna, who
It's always dogs. It's
owns
always dogs.
Fireline, is definitely we have cats that we take care of up in the warehouse. We used to have a whole swarm of them. So we feed them. We take. Well, I say somebody does. The warehouse staff does. But Anna's always had cats up here and always took care of them. Stray cats that set up there, give them a home, give them food, take care of them. So, Fireline as a whole, for Fireline itself, is a cat company more so than a dog.
We have
company.
a company cat. Felix
Correct.
is our company cat. She is the last one standing out of all the cats that we used to have. They all were spayed or neutered and adopted. That we had or eaten by a coyote out back here. And Felix is the lone survivor.
Yeah.
Felix has a house inside and outside of the warehouse, so she can come in and go as she pleases. She gets fed water daily, so she is very pampered. She comes up to everybody when you go up the warehouse. So yeah.
This is the best news I've heard.
Yep, we have
all week.
Felix the Fireline cat.
Wow.
There you go. So, Fireline is more of a cat place than it is a dog place, just because we take care of them.
Well, now the next time I'm at Fireline, I demand that I meet this cat.
100%. We'll introduce you to Felix. He's kind of
Good.
You know, like only around certain people.
Well, she's a cat, so that's what
Yeah.
they do. They pick and choose when they want to come up and give you love, and
That's true.
if they like you or
Exactly.
they don't. It's on their terms. That's why I like
Yep.
dogs, because it's unconditional.
Yeah,
Like, they
yeah.
like you regardless.
No
Cats
matter
are like,
what.
it depends.
I'm the opposite. That's why I like cats. They're so finicky. It's so fascinating to me. Like, if a cat doesn't like me, I find that very entertaining. I'm like, okay, respect. You've set your boundary and good
I take
for
it
you.
personal. That's what my problem.
I
is.
dated a girl years ago. I never was a cat person growing up, and I dated a girl who had 2 of them, and she was phenomenal with, like, you never knew she had cats. You could never smell nothing, right? They had to have can be an odor if you don't take good care of them. And he's a big fat black cat. His name was Hunter, and went to her apartment first time on our first date, and he's kind of standing in the middle of the living room, and I'm like, hey, how you doing there, buddy? You know what I mean? And he kind of walked up to me slowly and then swiped at me and popped me. I thought, ooh, tough guy. And then as we dated, we ended up dating for like probably about a year and a half. And then he became my buddy where I would sit back up on the chair and he'd crawl up on me, how they do that kneading.
Yeah.
He'd knead in your chest. And like we became buddies. It was kind of cool to watch him go from like, I'm the man of the house to, all right, I'll share some time with you. You know what I mean? I get it gave me a little more respect for cats. It was kind of wild the way that turned around, but that was my like first true cat experience that kind of turned me more towards saying, you know what, cats are pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm still indifferent. I never had a cat until I met my wife, and we adopted 2 cats right away. Like we got together, we bought a house, and then next thing I know, we have 2 cats. And I'm like, how did this happen? And we've had them ever since. So they're 15 and 16 years old. So
Alyssa, you don't like dogs, or you just prefer cats?
Oh, I love dogs. I love dogs. I much prefer cats.
Okay.
The slobber and the jumping of the dogs aren't my favorite. I they're just very high energy, and I like a calmer energy in a pet.
Yeah, I have a 60-pound English bulldog who's about a year and a half who does nothing but slobber and jump. He's a wild one.
Good times.
Buddy.
Kelly's about to have something that just slobbers and rolls around soon. So what's the next project? That he's having a baby, by the way. That's what I was talking about. He's not.
Got it.
No dog. Sorry, Cal.
What's my next project?
Yeah, what's the next thing we're working on? So the quarterly here is wrapped up.
Yes,
Do you have
yes.
some other quarterlies coming?
So yes, but so I guess aside from the 4 times a year big quarterly video, my team and we also do a weekly fundamental. You guys ever check those out?
Yep.
So that's like a reoccurring weekly production. And so just focusing on that, we always try to get as many of those scheduled and prepped to go as we can, because they do take a good amount of time to coordinate and get people's schedules working and filming and editing. And so that's a big part of what I do as well. So focusing on that right now, I guess.
Do you travel for those too? Do you go to different sites for those that's like flying wise or within driving distance with the fundamentals?
So we have many different tools, if you will, because those are more, lo-fi, more like iPhone footage, as opposed to like the big fancy camera production. We can a lot of times record things remotely. We'll have people send us videos in, or we'll schedule a video call to get them, because we do still try and get near and far offices included in those. But in terms of the physical travel, it kind of depends on the nature of the fundamental itself, I guess. But we do get more creative problem solving, I guess, about how to incorporate those different people.
When are you flying down to Louisiana?
I don't know.
It should be coming soon.
I don't know.
Right?
I would imagine.
It'd be fun.
It would be. It would be fun to do a team collaboration, right? Video podcast at a new Louisiana location
with a big crawfish fry.
I like how I just invite myself
Yeah.
on these things.
Yeah.
No, we need to do a crossover. I feel like we need a video fundamental podcast new team crossover for sure.
Sign us up. We and Fred been trying to get our faces behind the camera forever. Our room that we do this in is not very camera friendly.
No, it's not.
It's
not. So yeah, hey, we're on board. And anything you can put together that can include us, we're on. We're in it. Let us know.
Love it.
Yeah, we do. So if you listened before, so let's talk about that real quick before we wrap this up. What do you recall the episodes that you listened to?
It was the one with Anna, I think.
Those are
because
the
we
most
ended up
popular.
actually we used that as a fundamental, and introduced you guys to the whole company with one of our fundamentals. We hijacked your podcast. It was an easy week for me, right? Because I was like, these guys made this podcast.
We didn't get that fundamental. How do we get a copy of that one?
You didn't get it?
No.
I will forward it right after this.
that'd be
It was truly the week that you guys came on board. So I'm sure it got lost in that onboarding
Yeah, no, I'd like to see that. That'd be
period.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not fully integrated yet, too. So I think like all of our encore emails are coming out when, Mr. Mike? Mike is our IT guy. So we have our IT guy here because we have technical difficulties.
He's our stats and information guy.
Do you keep him on standby for all podcast recordings?
Try to.
Well, we try.
He's more when he comes to podcasts. I like to call him. We call it Mike Stats and Information.
Yeah.
So like we just randomly will bring up. I should say me myself. I just make up stuff and say it out loud, and then Mike fact checks me on Google most of the time, and I'm wrong. Except for how great John B is. I'll stand by that.
Yeah.
But besides that, we love to have the whole crew in here. When it's me, Fred, Matt, Mike, and Kelly, man, it's when we can put out the best product. So it's good to have the whole team when we can do these. So unfortunately, Matt can't be here, but maybe next time.
No, for sure. 4 of those over. I'd like to check that out. And then I'm assuming, like I said, once we get on the Encore emails, we'll be getting all the fundamentals. I think now they kind of randomly come across. I know. So I've got a couple every once in a while, but it's like once in a blue moon. Do I get copied on that?
Yep.
So looking forward to looking at the content and checking it all out. Looking forward to our quarterly meeting video that we've got. That's gonna be fun.
I've been in the editing process for that this week, and it's coming together very nicely. Everyone is just so freaking happy and smiley, and it sounds cheesy, but it really does warm my heart.
Good. Well, good. That warmed my heart that your heart is warmed.
So if you listened before, you know that we like to end every show the same way. We like to ask our guests the same question. So the question that we're going to ask you is, what would Alyssa today say to Alyssa day one walking in that door at Encore? What advice would you give her?
Young Alyssa. I would tell her to dedicate less time to waiting for that other shoe to drop. I think if I could go back and just kind of trust that the culture I was becoming a part of truly was that culture, I could have sunk into it quicker, absorbed more of it. So yeah, I would tell her, don't worry about it. Don't wait for that shoe to drop.
Yeah, have
This
that
is real.
leap of faith, right? We get it. It's hard to do. Yeah.
Sure, it is. Especially going to something new in fire protection, which you don't associate what you do with a fire protection type of company. So, like, how true is this? So, but no, I think you've done a great job with it. I look forward to seeing what's going on in the future and all the stuff that you put out, and really do appreciate you coming on and being a guest and talking about it. And please remember to share this with everybody, have them listen in, and then anybody that would like to be a part of this or have something they want to talk about, we'd love to hear it and love to interview them.
Yes. Thank you so much, Alyssa,
absolutely.
for your time. Yeah, we really do appreciate you coming on today. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. See ya.
See you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
All right. Bye.